Hey, this is Brody from Rivers of Nihil, and you're watching Loudwire. The first riff that made me want to play guitar was probably a riff that was shown to me by my dad. My dad was a real big acoustic, fingerstyle acoustic guy. Not that that really relates to this, but he was, I guess my original inspiration on the instrument, and he showed me this kind of, I think it's called Boogie Woogie, but it's, a pretty common sounding progression. It goes like this. And, I would just play that over and over again. The first riff that I heard that made me want to play guitar was probably Enter Sandman. And I just thought that that was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, that actually inspired me to sell my PlayStation, sell my bike, sell some Pokemon cards, and go out and get my first setup. I had several guitar teachers over the years, but the first one that I had is the one that really kind of sticks with me to this day. His name is Wayne Carl. He lived, pretty close to where I lived at the time, and he taught at this place in Spring City, Pennsylvania called George's Music. And he didn't really get into too much theory or anything like that with me. He showed me, my basic scales and whatever, but mostly what he did was just showed me how to play. I would bring songs in that I heard that I liked, and he would just show me how to play them, basically. I think one of my first lessons, he showed me how to play Mamakin from Aerosmith. I had heard it from Guns N' Roses because I, was the hugest Guns N' Roses fan when I started playing guitar, but he showed me, And as soon as I heard, that sound, I was, totally, completely hooked. And I was just from there, it was just upward trajectory to infinity, basically. When I was first starting guitar, pretty much any new technique that you learn when you're first learning the instrument it's a new technique and it's difficult. But I remember being very, very obsessed with the sound of finger tapping, because shortly after I started playing guitar is when I discovered Eddie Van Halen and, Van Halen in general. And I think the first song I heard from them was Ice Cream Man, which is still one of my favorite Van Halen songs. I had seen up until that point, I'd seen guitar players, you'd strum with this hand and you do stuff with this other hand, right? And but when I saw Eddie Van Halen, I saw some live videos of Eddie, just playing some solos, smoking a cigarette, just being super cool. When I saw him just making all these crazy noises with the guitar, and most of it was based around, tapping, I was just, completely just blown away by that. So, the first time that I attempted to play Eruption was when it all started clicking together, and the thing that every kid wants to learn how to play as soon as they hear it. But that was really what the song that kind of changed the game for me, and showed me that there really are no rules on the guitar and you can do whatever you want. But tapping was pretty hard for me at first, and thanks to Eddie, figured it out. So here we are. I always really liked the way that Mick Mars and a lot of bands from the 80s really used cowboy chords, but in a super just crazy rock and roll sense. That the main riff in Kickstart My Heart, I played that over and over again just because I thought it was so cool to I just thought that was so sick. That was one of them. Another riff that I played all the time when I first got started, political attachment, you know, ignored there, was a lot of Ted Nugent, you know. You know, I thought that stuff was all really cool, and just really like, you know, a lot of the like. You know, just I thought that was the coolest stuff ever. You know, Marty McFly was like one of my original inspirations on guitar. You know, with the. So the first riff that I actively remember writing for Rivers of Nihil was probably the opening riff for this song that we had back in the day called Mortem Prostitution. Sounds like a stupid song title. I guess the concept for that one was that you know, after celebrities die, that the media sensationalizes their death and used it to make money. It was like a very, like, you know, new band, woke ass tune, I guess. And I think it was actually about Michael Jackson specifically. So that goes to show you, like, how old this riff probably is. But it went something like this. I'll probably blow it, but we'll see. Yeah, real simple, kind of like, I don't know, it was probably inspired by like Behemoth or Vader, because like those were like two of our favorite bands. When Slash, you know, he's still one of my favorite guitar players. But, you know, I think that the first solo that I went for was probably the yeah, like that. But that was probably one of the first ones that I went for. And somewhere in the archives, there's actually a video of me, my friend Shane from way back in elementary school. My friend Shane and I covering "Sweet Child of Mine" with my sister playing drums, because my sister took drum lessons. So there's a video of that happening somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that solo was the first one that I went for. My favorite 3 Rivers of Nihil riffs right now, I mean, it's like a kind of like an ever-changing thing, but since, you know, we're still kind of on the Where Owls Know My Name cycle, the riffs that I haven't gotten tired of playing yet are all pretty much from the most recent record. But you know, I really like playing the main riff in the Silent Life. It's what we either open or close sets with, depending on the kind of gig we're doing. But you know. So it's just like a, you know, it's like a real kind of like ass beater, I guess. Gets the crowd going. I really liked the opening and closing riff for Where Owls Know My Name, the chord sequence, I should say. It's just like a real chill part, real vibey, and it's just kind of fun to play because there's lots of echo on the guitar sound. So it goes like this. Another one that I enjoy playing is the opening riff on the last song of Where Owls Know My Name, Capricorn, Agoratopia. But it starts with a similar guitar sound to the Owls sound, but it's just 2 chords, and it's very like, like Floridian, I guess. It just kind of, you know, has like this note that is just like kind of like echoing throughout the whole sequence and just creates this kind of like hypnotic, weird sort of vibe. But it goes like this. Yeah, so that's another fun one. It was kind of like the first like chord progression that I wrote on the record, just like 2 simple chords, and it was kind of like really what was like, I guess, the catalyst for the rest of that record, because that's the same chord progression that the album opens with, it closes with it comes back in the song Terrestria 3, but it's like picked with, you know, fingers, so it goes like... a little faster on the song, but yeah, that chord progression is all over the record, and it just kind of struck a mood with me, I guess. It made me feel a certain way, and I guess it's what like kind of just, you know, like really inspired the mood of that whole album. So I just, anytime that chord progression comes back on the record, it's always like kind of a special thing for me, because it reminds me of, you know, really like the source of you know, where all the ideas for Where Owls Know My Name came from, just literally from 2 chords.